Hello everybody. Now it's time for our skincare session, the ultimate guide to skin health in your 40s and beyond with Abigail James. Abigail is an award-winning skincare and wellbeing expert with a clinic in Mayfair, London. She's known for her extensive knowledge, facial massage and results-driven bespoke treatments, referred to in the press as the Queen of Skin. Abigail is an award-winning skincare and wellbeing expert with a clinic in Mayfair, London, known for her extensive knowledge, facial massage and results-driven bespoke treatments, referred to the press as the Queen of Skin. She established herself as one of the most respected facialists within the UK and published her first book, Love Your Skin, in 2018. Abigail juggles her career as a facialist, brand consultant, influencer and YouTuber, alongside being a mother of 3, so is a very busy lady. Over to you, Abigail.
Hi, can I just check, am I on full screen? Yes, perfect, amazing. Okay, cool. Lovely to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. That was some intro. Thank you very much for that. Fortunately, my kiddies have gone out today, so they've left me some peace and quiet to do this this afternoon, so I can focus on you guys. So we're going to be talking about skin and aging well, 40s and beyond. What I would really love to ask before I delve into kind of the meat of what I'm going to be chatting about is to ask you guys if you could write in the chat or the Q&A, what are your main concerns? Are there any questions that you really want me to cover with regards to 40 plus skin? I just want to make sure I've got some key questions that I've gone through, that I know, me being 45, I want to know about my own skin, but also other people from our age onwards are looking for. But I just want to make sure that I'm going to hopefully give you the knowledge and the answers so you can get the best out of this as well. So we've got lack of radiance. Oh my goodness, there's a plethora of questions coming through. Okay, wow. Okay, so we could be here forever answering all these questions. This is amazing. We've got loads and loads of questions. Okay, right. Let me just have a quick look over. Radiance, I'm going to scribble hormones, eye area, retinols. I am going to be chatting about retinols, absolutely. Sagging gels, I'm with you. Yes, I'm going to be chatting about that as well. Menopause, yeah. I'm full on early menopause, so I know all about it personally as well as through my clients as well. Okay, dry skin, wrinkles, rosacea, okay. Spot sensitivity, fine lines, patches. Okay, fine, spider veins. We can definitely mention that as well. Melasma, fine. Dark under eye. Okay, right. Hopefully we're going to cover all of these concerns that have just come through. Hopefully, we'll see. Okay, so what I wanted to start with is general skin concerns that we start seeing from 40s onwards. To be honest, up until I suppose 40, I think the vast majority of us have kind of been quite okay, feeling quite confident in what we're looking at and how we're seeing things and the aging process. It's usually from 40 onwards that we really start to notice a difference. I don't know about you, for me it was 41. I was cool with 40, but 41, it's the degeneration seems to speed up. So yes, we all have little wrinkles and things that are visible and a bit of loss of firmness, but there seems to be, it increases more rapidly from 40 onwards. And that's where I think whether it's skincare advice, treatment advice, lifestyle advice, all of that becomes a lot more relevant. You know, you may have been having facials and into that side of things already, but we do possibly need to shift things as we continue through the aging process. So I think common things, and it's been great seeing all of your concerns crop up. So wrinkles, wherever they may be on your face, it could be here, it could be these lines deepening, or just a general here, obviously. Loss of firmness, sagging, that's a key with our elastin levels dropping and gravity taking hold. Pigmentation, that's a big one. Lack of glow and radiance, our cell turnover slowing. What's interesting with all of these things that I was hoping that you'd comment on, but also what I was wanting to discuss, was we all have similar concerns. However, we all age differently. There's an element of what's called intrinsic and extrinsic aging. Intrinsic is our genetics, how we're, you know, the genetics and everything that we're born with. You occasionally, I don't know, what's one of the famous brands' slogan? Maybe she was born with it. Actually, maybe she was. Maybe her genetics, maybe she was born and dealt a good cards for her kind of genetic aging. So we have that part of the aging process that we can't necessarily fight. It's what we're born with. But then we have the extrinsic, which is the external factors, which are our lifestyle, our stress levels, you know, how we treat ourselves, the environment that we're living in. All of those things can then impact on our genetics to either speed up and accelerate the aging process or kind of work along with us. You know, there's one sure thing in life is that every single one, we are aging. That's a universal thing. The other key point is where you're from in the world. And again, that comes to your genetics. But if you are a black skin, actually ages and wrinkles less than a white Caucasian skin. You know, and there's loads of studies throughout the world on how different races and types of skin from all over age in a very different way. So that's actually where some of us will have similarities in our concerns, but actually where there's then a slight difference or on a focus of what might be your main concern that might not be mine, and vice versa. So looking after our skin in our 40s, there's general things that we can cover, and then there might be some specifics that are really more relevant to you personally. Okay, so what happens? Well, what the aging process? Some of the key things when we're 40 onwards is we've got a huge reduction of collagen. Collagen is the protein, one of the proteins within our skin, which gives it its body, its fullness. You know, and many a skin cream, the marketing spiel is, you know, collagen boosting. It's the spiel. It is targeting our minds as to this is an anti-aging product. We know that as we age, our collagen production slows. Within from our early 20s, so I think kind of 24, 25, 26, suddenly then from that age, our collagen production is slowing. We don't visibly see it at that point. You think you're still getting away with it. But I think it reduces, it's 1%, we lose 1% of our skin collagen every year from our early 20s. So that, the cumulative effect of that, and it then starts speeding up more so from 40 onwards as well. So supporting our collagen through the aging process is essential. That's kind of one of the things in our 40s we need to be focusing on if we want to visibly age well. I'm going to come on to all round aging well, but collagen production is key. We also have loss of volume. With the aging process, we can lose that plumpness from our skin, so the volume, you know, maybe even the cheeks can become more drawn in. We've got the elastin production, which is another protein, which gives the skin its springiness. So the elastin production reducing as well. And that's kind of where we can get, you know, that sagging effect. So all of those combined result in the face fundamentally changing, and the neck and the décolleté. Another big thing, particularly for women, from the age of 40s onwards, our hormones are changing again. So whether you're, you know, into menopause, perimenopausal, or still having regular cycles, from kind of roughly 40 onwards, our hormones are beginning to change. So we have a drop in estrogen. One of the big factors with skin and estrogen dropping, there's lots of things, but one of the big things is the level of hyaluronic acid within our skin. So basically the level of moisture and water we have in our skin begins to drop. So dryness is a key thing that becomes more of an issue than previously. With the hormone changes, if our estrogen levels are dropping, it means that our male hormones, our testosterone, they're not necessarily increasing, but because these are dropping, the male hormones have more impact on our skin. And this is where we can sometimes start getting breakouts again. You know, maybe some adult acne, or, you know, that side of thing. So our hormones play so much with all of us, from whether it's our mood or you know, body shape, what's going on with our skin. It's a key part of the aging process. Okay, so that's a little bit about, I wanted to go into a little bit about what's happening basically with us during that time. So hopefully, as I'm going through and giving some ideas and thoughts of what we can do, you realize why we're doing these kind of things. So I'm going to jump into top product tips. Products, I'm going to talk about this now because products is something that we know is accessible to us. Especially at the moment, I know the beauty industry can be back, which is amazing. But even, you know, before the past 4 months, before COVID time, products is something that's key to supporting the aging process throughout our lives from a skin point of view. I'm not going to be talking about specific brands. What I wanted to say is there are many brands out there. I get just so confused with them. It's crazy how many old school and new product launches and everything are constantly out there. I get it. It's an absolute minefield. Some of them are amazing. Some of them are not so amazing, shall we say. And just because a product has a key ingredient in, let's say vitamin C, I think most of us have heard of that as an ingredient. Just because one brand has it in a product, it doesn't mean it's formulated in the same way as the other vitamin C products. So one might be really effective, its delivery systems, how it's formulated, whereas another might actually say, do you know what, this has got 20% vitamin C in, that's what you need, it's going to be amazing. But the way it's formulated might not be in a way that is going to be able to get the active vitamin C into your skin where it's going to be most effective. So this is where actually brand and product selection is really important as well. And I know I get asked a lot, well, do I need to spend £150 on a serum? Surely, you know, £10 I should be able to get. There are questionables that sometimes you can get a really good, affordable, cheap product. But I find sometimes when we're into the actives, that we want to be doing something, there is an argument that not always, if it's got swanky packaging, and that's where the investment is, but the formulations, there's a lot more science and research and everything that can go into some of the formulations. And another key point is going back to our genetics. My skin isn't yours and vice versa. My favorite vitamin C serum that works for me and gets results actually might not be the most appropriate for your skin type. So this is where there's often a little bit of trial and error to find which ones are best suited to your personal skin as well. The other key thing I'm often asked, so what's the magic anti-aging product? Just one. I only want to buy one. What is it? There isn't one. I would love there to be. I'd be a very wealthy woman if I developed that one magic product. I know most people have heard about retinol. I will talk about this later as well. And yes, it's been heralded as the anti-aging ingredient. It's one of the only ingredients from the FDA, which is actually kind of said that, yes, this is an anti-aging product. However, if you just use retinol on your skin, it's not going to do everything that your skin needs. Yes, it stimulates cell turnover. Yes, it boosts collagen production. Yes, it can thicken the dermis. It sounds quite good. It is quite good. However, there is so much more the skin needs to function effectively. And this is where a routine comes into place. The skin does need cleansing. It does need certain actives, whether it's retinol for cell turnover, vitamin C for antioxidants, peptides to help boost collagen production, oils and moisturizers to help with the lipid, the oil barrier function of the skin. So I like to see your skincare routine as a whole routine. And you might have been able to get away without doing too much to your skin until 40s onwards, when you're seeing the visible signs of aging on your face. So no, there is not one magic product. Getting a routine in place and being regular with that routine. And that also comes down to facials. We are aging daily. Our skin, it's an incredible organ. It's amazing what it does. You know, it's cell turnover. It goes through a whole skin cycle when it's at its optimum, roughly on a monthly cycle. So from a cell being created in the base layers to naturally sloughing off at the top, it's roughly a monthly cycle. That's the ideal. At our age onwards, it's much longer than that. It's probably more like a month and a half. But we want to be supporting that process, that cell turnover. But with that, we need consistency with the actives and the products and the facials. It's not like you go to the gym once and go, I'm done. I look like Elle Macpherson, I'm done. It's the same with the skin. The skin is continually aging, it's continually, the cells are turning over. So that's where we need continuity with your home care and also with the facials. So I wish I could create a facial that you could just have the one and then I don't need to see you again for another 6 months or a year. That would be amazing. But we still need to be supporting the skin and the collagen production and the elastin and everything else. So that's where the regularity comes into all of this. I'm sorry, but it does. What else do I want to tell you? Yeah, facials. I will probably come and talk about facials a little bit afterwards. How many of you, okay, let's have a few of you, comment. How many of you are you using serums? If it's just, if you say yes in the comments or the chat or serums, if you're not using them, so we've got yes, 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 rarely, no, yes, great, no, okay, fine, yes, no, yes at night. Okay, so there's actually quite a mixture of yeses and nos. So I'm gonna just bought one. That's good. So one of the key things with your skincare routine, we want actives involved. Actives are the way they can be formulated within a serum is quite different to how they can be formulated within a moisturizer. So your serums come in so many different formats. Some of them are quite gel-like, some are quite watery, others are even oily, others are like a light cream. So I know there's a lot of variation within serums, but serums are your powerhouse. If we want results from our skincare routine, which fundamentally, if we're buying a product, we want it to achieve something, basically, or we might as well just throw our money away, basically, or give it to a teenager. They seem to burn money ridiculously, don't they? So serums, particularly from 40s onwards, if you haven't got them in your routine, you need to be thinking about getting them in. I'd be thinking roughly as a routine: cleanse. If you wanted to tone and hydrate, absolutely. Serum, your eye product, moisturize, SPF. So that is roughly what I'd want to see, you know, a day routine like. And then in the evening, cleanse. Again, you could hydrate with some kind of tonic or exfoliate, then put a serum in again. You could choose to use the same serum that you did in the morning. However, that's an opportunity to get some different skin nutrients in for the evening. So that's kind of where I'd see your serums sitting in your routine. But they work in conjunction with your moisturizers. So if you're not using serums, I would highly recommend looking into adding that into your routine. Okay. I personally like layering serums. You can't get all actives into one magic product. You need enough of an active for it to actually be effective. So that's actually where we do need a variety of different products, basically. Okay. Sunscreen. I've just been prompted. One of you has questioned, what do I think about moisturizers with SPF? That's quite a timely question, because I'm coming on to the importance of daily sun protection. Okay, so I'm in the middle of writing a blog, particularly on sunscreens, and also doing a YouTube video on it. It's such a vast area, and you know, I'm not going to go into all of it now because it's such a huge topic, but there are so many different trains of thought about chemical sunscreens, about physical sunscreens. Are they good for us? Are they bad for us? It's an absolute minefield. Fundamentally, when it comes to sunscreen, they are there to protect us from UV rays. UVA rays are the ones that are doing more of the aging. They are around all year round. Doesn't matter whether you're out burning or not. They can also penetrate glass. So if your office, your home office maybe at the moment, is in front of a window, or if you spend a lot of time in the car, the aging rays can get through the glass. UVB are the ones that burn. They are the ones that, you know, they make us come up red, they burn. Both of them are damaging to the skin. With sun protection, I suppose there's two main factors. There's, yes, we need to protect our skin from things like skin cancers, and you know, that health side of things, but then there is also the factor of protecting against aging or premature aging. The sun is the biggest premature ager. It will thicken the dermis, it will make wrinkles deeper, it will bring you out in pigmentation. It will dry out the skin. So I come from a holistic point of view, as well as looking after us. And I do feel, and this is my personal view, which, you know, will probably differ from other professionals, I feel that we do need some sun exposure. We're animals, you know, we're not intended to be covered in synthetic chemicals 24/7. So, but with that, I'd be saying 20 minutes, not in the heat of the sun, you know, whether it's before 11 and after 4, that maybe there is some exposure without any chemicals on the skin. But if we want to prevent aging, then you do need to be wearing sun protection, SPF, daily, all year round. That's kind of a no-brainer. You know, maybe actually in a week or two, when I finish my research, which it's just incredible, the amount of stuff that I'm trawling through, so conflicting messages, to be honest, on sunscreen, that maybe then you know, you might want to know a little bit more about physical and chemical sunscreen. There's lots of choices out there on the market. I prefer to moisturize the skin, which I'm going to come back to your question. What do I think about moisturizers with SPF? I prefer to moisturize and then protect with SPF. And one of the key points is with your foundation. A lot of foundations now have chemical SPF added to them. You know, that kind of choice is taken away from us. But just because your foundation has it in, it doesn't mean that you're covered enough for the day. So I would also be putting an SPF underneath a foundation with added SPF. I think you can't kind of overdo that, the protection that you need. And obviously, ideally, we need to be reapplying. We do. I know not many of us do, unless we're on holiday or unless we're physically in a sunny situation. You know, on a normal work day, we're not thinking, oh, right, midday, let's put SPF back on. But we should be, to maintain that level of protection. Okay, actually, there's a few questions come in about serums. Right, some serums mention that they are more effective if not followed by moisturizer. Is that true? So the question was, are some serums mention that they are more effective if not followed by moisturizer? Is that true? That might only be the case with something like a retinol, and it will depend on the actual formulation of the serum itself. But often serums are intended to be used in conjunction with your moisturizers. But I would always put your serum on, the lightest texture first, and then go on with your moisturizer. Some retinol formulations, that is kind of like a complete retinol moisturizer and everything all in one. So if that was the case, then you wouldn't need a separate moisturizer after. Okay. Okay, well, let's have another question. How many of you, now no lying, because now that I've told you all about sunscreen and the importance of it, I want you to be honest. How many of you are wearing this daily, all year round? And do you have a preference of mineral, well, physical or chemical? SPF 50 every day. Okay, yes, that's great. Daily. Okay. Not all year round, daily 50, not so much in the winter, never used it, okay, not all year round, no, okay. So yeah, there's a few of you there that actually, if we're thinking of 40 onwards, or any skin onwards really, SPF is a key protection. It's a key one. We know that the sun's rays are really, they are damaging to our cell DNA. They will prematurely age us. So if you're investing in your other skincare routine, you need to be also investing in an SPF, because you're going to, the products, you're almost going to need more of the actives and stuff to continue trying to help the damage that you're still creating by not protecting your skin. Whether you need a 50, my preference, I know there are certain brands out there who have brilliant 50s. I really like a 30, and I've found that a lot of them do a really good protection at 30. Often the formulations to get from a 30 to a 50, the amount of extra chemicals and extra actives they have to put in to get from 30 to 50 is almost, it's double. However, there are some great 50s out there, you know, that, again, that's just a personal thing for me. And it comes down to the individual product and how it's formulated. Okay, what have we got? Can serums and other products, do they really help with collagen and elastin? Good question. So the collagen and elastin that we mentioned before obviously is we're talking about the collagen and elastin in our skin. There's key ingredients. Let's talk about retinol. I'm guessing we've all heard about it. Retinol is basically a vitamin A derivative. It was years and years ago. I think it was one of the target things that was used for healing and treating acne. Throughout that time, they then found that it actually has an amazing anti-aging effect on the skin. It speeds cell turnover. As we age, we mentioned this at the beginning, our collagen production is slowing. Our cell turnover is slowing. In our 20s, the cell turnover is kind of roughly that monthly. As we're aging into our 40s, we're probably into more like a 60-day cell turnover. So where you've got certain actives in your serums, like a retinol, it's helping speed that process up. So with that, you get a regeneration of cells, a regeneration of collagen production. So yes, some of the actives absolutely will have a physical impact on what is happening in your skin. Vitamin C. Okay, that's another key thing with a serum. It's an antioxidant. If we think of the UV rays, the damage that we're getting from UV and pollution and stress, things like antioxidants and your vitamin C's, they actually help protect from that type of damage, because basically that kind of damage is damaging cells and prematurely aging in a different way. And vitamin C's and antioxidants, they're helping protect that and will help reverse that. So yes, serums, inactives, actives in serums, they are physically doing something. I know a lot of products you might put on and go, that hasn't done much. I get it. Often they're not intended to give an immediate. It's getting in, the actives are getting into the skin, they're having their process, they're impacting on the skin cells that are coming through. So it might actually be 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks of using a particular product that you then can make a more informed view on how it's supporting the skin. And I think with all skincare, whether it's a doctor product, a medical grade, or whether it's a high street, we have to be realistic as to what it can achieve. There are some incredible products out there, but you do need to give it time. Again, it's not about a quick fix. Often, actually, the quick fixes, I know in some products, I'm going to come on to skin peels and exfoliants in a moment, okay? Where was I? Oh my goodness, I've lost my train of thought. I was talking about vitamin C, antioxidants, serums, blah, 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 blah. I've forgotten. I've totally lost my train of thought. However, I am going to talk about hyaluronic as we're talking about serums. 40 onwards, our moisture levels are dropping. A key thing, all over the body, not just in our skin. Hyaluronic, which is now hyaluronic acid, we have it naturally in our skin, we have it in our bodies, and those levels are dropping. A key serum that I think we should all have in our routine from 40s onwards is something with hyaluronic in. It's helping hold more moisture in the skin. Again, it's not a serum that is going to give you that immediate wow, but it's there for the longer term, helping the skin feel plumped. I personally like putting a hyaluronic serum after a hydrating tonic so that there is something for the hyaluronic to grab hold of and really help moisturize the skin. Another key thing with that is we need to be increasing our water consumption, our hydration. Because hyaluronic has the ability to hold over 1,000 times its weight in moisture. It's got to get that moisture from somewhere. Yes, it can get it from the atmosphere, but if we're giving something on the skin first and making sure that we're hydrated, you're going to get more bang for your buck out of your hyaluronic serum as well. Okay, right, so that's a few bits on home care, a few key ingredients that I think are essential. We've gone over sun protection. We are going to talk about peels. I want to talk about treatment for pigmentation, because we know that sun ages, but it also can create pigmentation issues. There are a few brilliant treatments for pigment. One of them is IPL, intense pulse light therapy. It's kind of like laser, but it's not. But that is amazing for treating pigmentation issues. You have to make sure that you don't have a tan on your skin when you have IPL. But you might need a few treatments, and over a course of treatments, it definitely will knock the edge off the pigment. Does IPL work on black skin? No, is the answer. There are other forms of laser that might be more suitable for a darker skin tone, basically, with pigmentation. Other things that can be helpful for pigment are peels. And again, it will naturally come on to peels. I know there's lots of questions about it. But peels, there's a peel for all different skin types. But specifically, we can target peels. And if we're focusing on a darker skin tone or a black skin, we'd start off gentler and increase the strength of the peels slower, just so we're not going to cause any post-inflammatory pigmentation issues. So peels can be amazing. Again, a course of. Melasma, I know a few of you have mentioned melasma. I have melasma myself. You might not be able to see through my makeup that I've got on, but I come up leopardy spots on my forehead. Melasma is hormone related. There's definite increase in melasma. I'm seeing in younger girls as well as 30s, 40s and through on. It is hormone related. It's a lot more tricky to treat. You don't necessarily treat melasma with IPL. I find melasma, it's almost a constant thing. You need to make sure you've got some pigment holding ingredients in your skincare routine. Vitamin C is a key one. Yes, when we're out of our summer period, that's when I really start targeting and treating pigment with my clients. So whether it's pigment or melasma, they know that, whether it's traveling and sunbathing during the summer, we support with key ingredients, kojic acid, that's a good one for pigment, licorice root, vitamin C's, SPF. But then when we want to come around to actually treating it, we're doing that when the sun isn't quite so bright, maybe in the autumn months when they know they're not going to be in the sun so much. And we treat, get it back on track, and then we kind of go on that yearly cycle. But because we're treating it on a yearly basis, it doesn't continue to get worse and worse, okay? There is a lot of research on skin needling and stem cells with regards to supporting melasma, and some really interesting things coming out at the moment with that. So, that's actually another thing that I'm working on in the background, but some of the research is really fascinating. Okay. Fine. So we've mentioned that, pigment, melasma. I should say, actually, with melasma, if you are on any hormone treatment, whether it is the pill or an implant, which is still hormone treatment, or the Mirena coil, still hormone, or whether you're on any HRT, still hormone, bioidentical, still the same, there is still going to be a fueling of internal hormones that will keep fueling your melasma. So it won't matter how many treatments and everything else you do to the skin, you're still going to be internally fueling that pigment and hormone related melasma. Okay, do we need to change our routine as we get older? Yeah, we kind of do. Our skin is very different now to what it was in our 20s. Yes, our genetics, our DNA is still the same, but our cell turnover is slower, our hormone makeup is different. So yeah, we do need to think about changing up and getting more focused and targeted with our skincare routine as we're aging. The things that we've mentioned with our collagen production dropping, the hydration, the elastin, we need to be targeting the routine to being age appropriate. However, if you're still getting adult acne or spots, there are definitely some products that you might have been using if you had acne when you were younger to still target that side of things. Yeah, and it's a skin specific thing as well. But I often see people in their 40s and beyond still being quite harsh with their skin. Maybe they did have oilier skin when they were younger, and they're continuing with those kind of products and overstripping the skin and not giving the skin what it now needs to really be glowy and healthy. But it doesn't necessarily mean suddenly going for heavy creams is the answer. And that's a common thing. I don't know whether any of you have tried that. You thought, right, I'm going to get an anti-aging cream, and it's thick, you think you're doing the right thing, but it actually brings you out in a few spots, and it doesn't really work for your skin. So it's not about heaviness of product as we age, it's about being clever with your product choices. Fine. Okay, supplements. How many of you are taking supplements, or supplements specific for skin? I think I should ask. Let's kind of see. Nope, no, nope, no, yes, okay, no, nope, no, no, no. Okay, there's only the occasional. Okay, someone's taking collagen and peptides. No, hormone health in general, magnesium for adults, K, collagen, evening primrose oil, omegas, great, vitamin B. Okay, so there's a few of you that aren't taking anything specific for skin. Ceramide's a nice one. Vitamin C. Okay, so when it comes to supplements, there's the argument to say that they're an unnecessary, surely we get everything from our diet. And my diet's healthy, I don't need anything extra. If our diet was as incredible as it should be, I absolutely agree. But with modern day farming, the soil isn't as rich as it previously was, and the quality of the vegetables and everything that we're eating, they're not as nutrient dense. And the world that we're living in now is quite different. Our stress levels are different. The pollution we're in, you know, all the tech that we're surrounded with. So our body is under a lot more pressure than previous generations, but in a different way. I'm not saying that they didn't have pressure. They obviously did, but we've got more bombardment of that and probably less nutrient dense food. So supplementation I see as a key part of health, but also skincare routine. Whether it is something to help with your sleep pattern. Sleep is essential for supporting body functions, but we all know how horrific we look when we wake up and you've not had a proper night's sleep. Our body is doing all its regeneration while we're sleeping, as is our skin. There are certain key nutrients and vitamins and minerals that I think are really supportive for the skin, but then can also have a knock-on to the rest of our health. Because as much as we're talking skin, it's aging well throughout our 40s, and we can't just focus on the skin. You know, if our health fails us, there's no point in our skin looking amazing. It's a two-way thing. We've got to age well to look like we're aging well. So vitamin C. Our body doesn't store vitamin C. So I know we will often take it during the winter months. To me, it's an all year round, I should say, antioxidant that I think is essential for health, but also for skin. I think magnesium, particularly as an aging woman, is a key mineral to get in. There are others, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C, I've mentioned vitamin E. So there's those kind of things. And then there's a few others like selenium and so yeah, iron. I think as an aging woman is a key thing. You know, we need to look after our internal blood flow. Our blood flow is what's feeding the skin internally. And whether it's through hormonal issues or whatever, often I've actually, over the past probably 5 years, I've diagnosed, not, you know, but encouraged clients to go and get their iron levels checked. And there's been 5 or 6 ladies who were iron deficient. I can see the skin responds differently. And I can see that with, I don't know, how it feels, and it doesn't glow, and how it responds to massage. So iron is a key one for looking glowy and, you know, all round women health. So there's, I think your supplements, even if you have an incredible diet, I think it's an added extra for supporting all-round health. I'm running out of time. I can't believe I feel like I've jabbered and thrown so much at you. I did want to just very briefly mention about Botox and fillers. I'm not going to go into it as a whole new topic, but one of the things I've experienced, whether it's clients or friends, colleagues, whoever it is, when they start doing injectables with Botox and fillers, they almost stop doing so much with the skincare and the facials. Botox and fillers isn't supporting collagen production. I know it makes the forehead look smooth and it makes you look younger, but it's not supporting aging well. It might do from a confidence point of view, but if you're doing or choosing to do that kind of thing, your skincare and face treatments are just as essential. It's not an instead of, it's not a right quick fix. We still need to be supporting the cell turnover, the collagen production, the elastin, the hydration of the skin, the muscle tone. So if you are thinking about that kind of thing, or if you're doing that kind of thing, definitely don't give up on the skincare, the facials, and everything else as well. One of you said you have fibroids and I'm iron deficient. Hey, I'm with you. I get that. I suffer from that myself, which is why I've experienced it personally with iron deficiency. Yeah, there are some great supplements out there specifically. You don't have to take the ones that, because the ones from the doctors, I know sometimes you might need that strength, but they can be a little bit feisty on the stomach. So that there are other kind of like iron-rich waters that you can get as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it a day. I could literally, there's so much more I could chat to you guys about, but I think I've gone over slightly on time anyway. And you guys have, thank you so much for kind of joining in with telling me what you haven't been doing. I hope you've learned something from this. I hope there's something that you can take away from it. And I've really enjoyed doing this.
Thank you, Abigail, so much for that informative session. I think people could have asked you questions all day and you could have kept going all day. Just, you know, there's so much to know and learn about it and ask about it. So thank you so much. I've certainly taken away quite a few top tips. So thanks again.
Pleasure.
Our next session, everybody, is at 3:30, Brain, Mood and Mental Health at Midlife with Kimberly Wilson, Chartered Psychologist. So
I need to be dipping into that. I definitely do.
Well, please do. Kimberly's amazing. She's really, really, really great. So I will see you all then. And thanks again, Abigail.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.